The guy who made the thing up. He made it up. Back in the mid-90s, he came up with the fin step. Named Petri Koko. Finland. He made up the fin. It's his thing. Keep that in mind. It's his thing. He sees their routine yesterday. A routine where a fin step deduction took place for Moir and Virtue. This is what he tweets. Hope Virtue and Moir win. Americans' timing was off in the fin step. He went on to say, I don't understand the judging in ice dancing. Virtue and Moir should be leading, in my honest opinion. This guy came up with the thing that they were deducted on and said they were better than the American duo of Meryl Davis and Charlie White. Meryl Davis and Charlie White set a world record for short. The guy who came up with the move tweeted it sucked. And they got a world record on the short. Any questions? Good. That was yesterday. Let's go to today. Virtue and Moir go out for the free as we're coming on air at 1 Eastern. And boy, they nail it. I don't know. There's no jumps. There's no leaps. I don't know. I don't know. Tessa did the thing with the skate behind the head and the twirl, and it was nice. But I really don't know. All I know is Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir, with 3 skaters left to go, walk off the ice in Sochi, getting a world record free score. World record. It's never been given. Ever. 8 minutes later, Meryl Davis and Charlie White break the record that was just set in their free and win a gold. C'est la vie in ice dancing. So never mind the fact that the guy who's coming up with these moves in the first place says the judges don't know what they're talking about. Everyone now has to eat these results. Let's go back even further. Let's go back to just before the games. French sports publication L'Equipe, and for the record, this is one of like 30 publications in France that blew the whistle on Lance Armstrong 11 years ago, and no one listened to, and eventually that scum-sucking bastard comes clean. So L'Equipe kind of maybe know what they're talking about a little bit. Just a little bit. So c'est cool. They print an article before the games about little side deals. You may have heard the story. In case you haven't, let's go back and look at the article. The article said the Russian judges and the United States judges have cut a side deal. The end result, what they hope will happen, is as follows. Russia wins the team event, and this United States couple wins a gold in ice dancing. That's what the article alleged. The International Skating Union, or whatever corrupt group of individuals runs that thing, whatever that's called, they quickly come out and go, no pat the boys. This is not true. We have made very big strides in judging since Salt Lake. And this is not true. It happened. What the report said was going to happen just happened. United States won gold in ice dancing. Russia won gold in the team event. And these idiots are trying to run down our throats that this isn't the most corrupt thing I've seen since The Godfather Part 2. This is ridiculous. Rosie DiMano wrote an article yesterday in the Toronto Star. Deadspin's been ripping her all morning. I agree with every word in that article. This sport, I'm paraphrasing, ice dancing is a whore of a sport run by Johns as judges. That is what we saw today. Those athletes who are out there who bust their hump, I got no problems with them. But to call that a sport is to spit in the face of every sport that is trying to either get into the Olympics or to get back into the Olympics. Are you telling me baseball's not an Olympic sport? And what I just saw up on this television an hour ago is considered a sport. 13 people get bought off on a consistent basis. And that includes 2010. I'm not excluding Canada of anything. That whole sport is a disease. Baseball's not an Olympic sport. Golf's not an Olympic sport. MMA, the base of it is wrestling. The base of it is wrestling. The infancy of the Olympic movement is MMA. It can't be an Olympic sport. We have to watch corruption spilled onto our face and take it. That is an affront to anything you call a sport. That is an affront. And I plead with parents in this country, if your kid wants to skate, if they really like figure skating, or you really like figure skating, for the love of God, pairs, men's singles, or women's singles where you have to jump, where there is some tangible evidence that A is better than B. And not this crap that we're passed on. This is the worst thing in the Olympics. Find me a sport worse than ice dancing. I'll give you $20 right now. Somebody. Exactly. You can't do it. Biathlon's way cool. Don't go there. You shoot stuff. Ice dancing is a disease that we cannot get rid of in this thing. And it is a disrespect to some very good athletes who are out there because we're all laughing at it. There is evidence in L'Equipe in France. They told you this was going to happen February 8th. Those idiots say there's no chance. It happened exactly the way they said it was going to happen. Exactly. And this isn't corrupt as hell? This isn't corrupt as hell. But golf's not an Olympic sport. Baseball's not an Olympic sport. This is garbage. This is absolute garbage. They don't jump. They don't do anything tangible to see any difference. And even the guys who make up the moves like the fin step yesterday say the judges don't know what they're talking about. This is the worst silver medal in the history of Canadian Olympics. Worst. Because of what it represents. And I hope to God this charade ends. People are making millions off corrupt judging in this event since the late 70s when it became an event. Ice dancing needs to be cured. If someone has the penicillin for this, let me know. Because what I just saw over the last 2 days with tangible evidence to go with it, because I don't know anything, is an affront to what every sports fan hopes to see in anything. That is a joke. And I swear to God, I am never going to be duped into that again. I don't know how much money ice dancing makes for the IOC. I know what it makes for the judges. They're going to rain. I know what's doing for the judges. I don't know what ice dancing does revenue-wise for the IOC, but I really hope it ain't much. Because there is real evidence to suggest, and this isn't new, a French publication told you on February 8th, this is how it was going to go down. So want to argue with me this isn't corrupt as hell? Across the board?